Come to you from Undercity Comics. This is Keeping Up with the Nerds, issue 233. My name is Nick Valero.
Rene.
And welcome to the show, everybody.
Hey.
I took out the numbers. I feel like that's smoother. I feel like that's going to be my thing now.
Yeah.
I'm not doing the numbers.
Year 5. We're no longer saying the address.
I'm not saying the address.
We've been saying it for 4 years now.
If you don't know what it is, then I feel like that's them. That's on them.
Plus, this is what happens when you just leave the two of us.
So you may notice if things are a little different in the studio.
Yes, we're in different seats.
Yeah, we're in different seats.
I know.
It's weird.
Jarring.
It's weird. Bryan is out. He is dealing with family stuff and everything like that. Personal stuff. He's about to have a kid. He's allowed that time.
He's allowed that. He has that card to use.
Yeah. He just goes, baby. And then we're like, yeah, okay, yeah, sure.
No questions asked. Yeah.
It'd be so funny if he was just at home, just suckers.
Yeah, dad card.
He's gonna be using that a lot. I have a feeling.
I think so too.
In the next year, he's gonna be using that a lot.
Oh yeah.
Sean isn't here. Sean got sick at work.
Yep.
So that's what happens when you're with
you don't
kids.
use hand sanitizer a lot.
Well, and also he doesn't. I don't think his immune system is used to hanging out with like children.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So
not used to in school environment,
like a school environment and everything, because that's just a breeding ground for disease.
Oh my god,
it's just what it is.
It is, yeah.
Else. I feel weird, so I'm gonna
oh
do
yeah,
this.
You know,
I'm gonna do this.
I know, but it's hard because we also do videos, so we have to also make sure we engage with our audience.
But this feels weird.
It does.
It feels weird when I'm just like,
yeah, we're just kind of, So how you doing, Nick?
This feels weird.
How's been your week?
So I'm gonna do this, and that way we can have a nice little angle and everything else. My week was pretty good. It was not too bad, too bad. I couldn't wait for it to end.
Same.
But I feel like that's just like a work thing. Like I feel like because
everyone's waiting for their weekend to come up.
It always is, and like today was Western Day at the elementary school, so I'm wearing cowboy boots.
Oh, okay.
And I was wearing my cowboy hat earlier. It's in the car. So Monica tells me, because I'm like, hey, I'm gonna wear my boots that I got in Mexico to work, and then she goes, you should really wear those beforehand because you haven't worn them and they're leather. You
have to break them in.
And you have to break them in. Yeah. And I was like, I'll be fine. Like, I'll be fine. I gave up halfway through the day. Like literally I was good. Yeah. I was good. And I was like, okay, cool. Like I'm fine, whatever. Yeah. And I've been walking around. And then I think around like 3:30, 4 o'clock, my feet are in pain.
Oh man.
I'm just like, I don't want to stand. I'm sitting and I'm like, I have like my legs spread, like just like out. And I'm like, oh God.
This was a bad idea.
This was such a bad idea. I really should have listened. Yeah. And my feet were starting to kill me. And I'm just like, oh my God, why did I do this to myself?
Now, did you admit this to Monica?
I absolutely did.
Okay.
I admitted it wholeheartedly because the first text message she sent me was, how are your feet? And I went, they're doing pretty good. I'm okay. And this was like a 2. Yeah. And I was doing okay. Yeah. And then I don't know what happened. But my feet started killing me. And then they never stopped. And after that, I was like, I then texted her back and I'm like, I was wrong. I was so wrong. Yeah. My feet are in so much pain. And all she responded with was, ha, 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 I told you. Yeah. And I'm like, I feel like that's not the response I was looking for right now, but obviously that was the response I was going to get.
You're going to get, Mandy will do the same thing to me. Yep. And that's why sometimes I won't admit that I'm wrong. Yeah. At some points, because my pride. So,
makes sense.
Yeah. I'm too stubborn.
Yeah. I'm realizing now that we're probably like 5 minutes in, so we should probably do the whole where you can find us at. So thank you for tuning in to Keeping Up with the Nerds. You can find us at our website, keepingupwiththenerd.com. You can also find us at all of our social media outlets, our Facebook, Keeping Up with the Nerds. You can also find us at YouTube and also at x.com, Keeping Up with the Nerds. You can also listen to our audio versions of the podcast on Podbean. And make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Share it with your friends. Leave a comment on the video. Am I missing anything?
Just our other audio platforms, Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
There it goes. I knew I was missing.
Just you were doing so good.
I was doing okay, and
I was like, you know what, Nick's, because we had an idea.
I got it.
We were like, oh, maybe Nick could do a little editing or something like that. No, but
actually, that was okay. I didn't stumble as much as I thought I was going to.
No, you didn't. Yeah, you didn't stutter. You didn't space out. You just missed 2 little things. That was it. And even then,
we can work with that. I can work with that.
I think no one would be mad.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Bryan would be like, "Ha, got it wrong."
Yeah, knew it.
Yeah, knew it.
Yeah,
they don't remember it.
They don't remember.
Of course we don't, because we don't listen to you, Bryan. You do that.
We tune you out.
Yeah,
that's number one. Mm-hmm. You should.
I just listen for the X cue. That's it.
I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna forget X, and then I saw you wind up, and I was like, "Oh, right, X." But yeah. So we have a.
This is a very light show.
It's going to be a light show today.
Yeah, it's only 2 of us, so don't expect an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Yeah, and that means also the skit's only 2 of us. So whatever you get is what you get.
It's what you get.
You don't get upset. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I mean, we have a light show. We're going to go into comic strips. We have a couple of interesting stories there. And then from that, we are going to get into a little bit of our main topic, Superman and Spider-Man. All right, so that's what we're going to talk about today.
Yes.
First up, let's go ahead and get into our topics, which I don't know where the thing went. Where did it go, Rene? Rene, where did it go?
It should be there, or
no. Oh, we're so screwed. All right, vamping.
Sorry,
I lost it. Now
pretty exciting show today, guys. It's gonna come. Don't worry. It'll
eventually come.
We'll get there at some point.
Yeah, it's like me on a bad day. I eventually get there. It just takes me a little bit.
If you guys like the skit so far, go ahead and comment down below. Give us a like. Yeah. Give us share it with your friends.
It's so funny because I was talking to Junior Tuesday.
Yeah.
Or no, Thursday. Sorry, I was talking to him on Thursday, and then he was like, "Hey, did you notice the other day on the video?" And I'm like,
Which one?
Why? And he's like, I'm like, why? And he goes, I beat Sarah.
Oh yeah,
I got first.
Yeah. I love that right now. I love that.
I started laughing so hard because Junior was wearing it as like a badge. Yeah.
I love that for our podcast, to be honest.
Yes. Yeah. I love it. It's so great. We do have some news coming up pretty soon. It's not ready just
It's still
yet.
not yet. It's still in
talks. I think we finished talking today.
Yeah.
We were doing everything else. Next week we're definitely going to be letting everybody know, doing everything like that. Everything's going to finish.
Dotting the I's and crossing the T's.
Absolutely, and then we'll get into it. So let's get into comic strips. Short little tiny pieces of news that hopefully we don't tangent too much. Today we're going to let it fly. Unfortunately, Brian's not here to tell us what to do.
That rule is out the window.
Yeah. Yeah, no one's going to tell us what to do.
We're going to tangent.
Yeah, we're not going to curse though because I have to edit. So
I'm going to try really hard not to.
Don't you
I was going to say.
You were going to be like, oh,
effing podcast. This bee over here.
All right, first piece of news. Jake Gyllenhaal set to star in the next M. Night Shyamalan movie. I didn't know Jake Gyllenhaal's career was that bad. I
didn't think it was hard to get
I didn't know he was struggling. Yeah. I didn't know he was struggling. Okay, here's the thing. M. Night Shyamalan was once a good director.
Once.
At one point he was. And then at another point he just gave up.
He did. And then just was like, oh, I have a daughter that wants to be an actress. I'll star her in my movie that comes out. Trap.
Oh, that's right, huh?
Yeah, she played the singer.
Is she the serial killer?
No, she's the singer that catches the serial killer.
See, okay, I feel that Trap would have been a better movie if the singer was the serial killer. If
that was the twist.
If that was the twist.
The twist in
and then what was it? And then what's his name is more her like familiar. Like he's helping her.
Like a fan of his.
And that's how he got the tickets.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been great. Because that would have been a good movie, actually.
That would have been an interesting movie.
That would have been a much more interesting movie. For overall, I've seen Trap. It's not bad. I like it. I like the concept. I think that's what I like.
The concept is good.
And Josh Hartnett does a great job playing that unhinged but yet very much calm and collected serial killer, which I liked. I like that. That was fun. But overall, I mean,
Josh Hartnett is a great actor.
Josh Hartnett is a great actor.
Great freaking actor.
So I can only imagine what Jake Gyllenhaal is going to be doing in his M. Night Shyamalan movie that he'll be doing.
The Unbroken.
Right.
I don't know which one. I haven't really been a fan of Shyamalan in a while.
Yeah.
What was
his movie before Trap? What was his movie before?
Old?
Was it old? Oh, it was old.
It was old. The one where they're on the beach.
And
the kids
that was an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
That was an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
That wasn't bad, but it just wasn't laid out perfectly.
I feel like watching it for 5 minutes and you were like, it was that. And then like at a certain point, you're just waiting for it to, it's never a good idea when you have a suspense movie and you're like, what's the twist? And then you figure out the twist in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then now you're just watching the movie waiting for them to
You're just basically waiting for them to unfold everything you already know.
You're just like, oh, all right, how are we going to get there?
Yeah. Because there's only one or two ways that that movie was going to end. Either everyone dies or someone survives. That's the thing. So obviously, yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
In horror news, we have a little bit of horror news. I'm excited.
I'm excited.
I always love horror. Scott Foley will be returning as Roman Bridges
in Scream 7,
and Matthew Lillard will be returning as Stu.
Yes,
in Scream 7.
I'm more excited for that.
Yeah, I am. It's interesting because I actually barely saw Scream 6. I literally barely saw it 2-3 days ago. I had to rewatch Scream 5 though. I couldn't
Scream 5.
I could not remember what happened.
Scream 5 is the setup for this new franchise.
And I forgot that Jack Quaid.
Yes, dude.
I forgot. Spoiler for Scream 5.
Yeah.
It came out a couple years ago.
Yeah,
but I don't. It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Well, because Scream 5 sets up this new series, and that's all about what's his name. Oh my God, Billy Loomis's daughter.
Yes,
and it sets up the whole thing with Billy Loomis's daughter.
She's now fired from the franchise.
She got fired, which I thought was so wild.
Yeah, she was saying some pro-Palestine stuff.
Yes, she was saying some pro-Palestine stuff, and then Jenna Ortega left the series.
Yes,
because she said that she's too busy with Wednesday, and then you're kind of going like, all right, are you too busy with Wednesday, or are you just pissed off because your co-star got fired?
Yeah,
like the star of the movie got fired, which is wild.
Yeah, and then they also they're bringing back Neve Campbell as well too. She's been talked about coming back as well too because of letting go the main actress and stuff.
You know what? And I am very disappointed.
Yeah,
because I feel like Scream 5 did such a great job of passing the torch.
Yes, it was a perfect movie. It shows the greatest way of passing the torch to the next generation of movie stars in the franchise, which is great.
Yeah.
You have all these new group of characters, and they're all legacy characters, which is great.
Yeah, it's Randy's niece and nephew.
Yeah.
Then you have Billy Loomis's daughter, which her sidekick basically is her sister from a different dad.
Yeah.
And I think they were calling themselves the Core Four.
Yeah, the Core Four. Yeah.
That we can't die yet. And I do love in 6 where they mention it because who's the cop? Zoe or was it Zoe? The
in 6?
In 6, it was one of the victims in 4.
Oh yeah. Oh yes,
she was the FBI agent.
Yeah.
Where she goes like, no, we're tracing the call, and then she goes, this is how my Uncle Randy died. It was in the middle of the day. They were trying to track the killer. Yeah. And then he gets pulled into a van, and then he gets stabbed to death. He gets gutted, And then he gets gutted in the middle of the day. And then she's like, well, this is different.
Yes. I love, too, that in Scream 6, they pull this psych out of Gail Weathers finally dying.
Yes.
And then you find out, no, she survived. And it plays on that joke of Gail always at the edge of death, but never died in the franchise.
Yes, and I actually really. So I rewatched 5.
Yeah,
I rewatched 5, and then I get to the scene where Dewey dies.
Dewey dies in a really messed up way.
He dies, and you know what? You know what I really kind of wish. I do kind of wish he would have injured them. Like Dewey's death wouldn't have been such a waste. I wish that he would have like shot them in the arm.
Yeah.
Or something like that, and that's how they discovered who it was.
Who the killer was.
Or like he scratched them with like his badge.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Or he did something.
Or like scratch them, or like even like pull their mask off and like maybe like gouge their eye or something like that.
Yeah, and like you see like a little like thing, and like
right
Dewey, and like Dewey's last act was to identify who the killer was.
Yes, to help us find the killer.
And because of Dewey, that's how we figure it out.
That would have made Dewey's death so much more better, honestly.
Because he just kind of dies.
It's the most messed up way. What happens is, if you guys haven't seen it and you guys don't plan on seeing it, well, I'll tell you Dewey's death. It's so messed up. They go to the hospital, and then the killer is chasing them. Dewey has done this so many times in the franchise, has faced the killer, and I think he was going off of that. I've always survived when the killer is confronted by me, and he does. But it's funny because every single time the director or the writers do that to Dewey, they do it where he's killed off, and then at the end of the movie, he's shown being teetered out and stuff.
Very much like Randy's, they did that with what's it called? Randy's nephew.
Yes. So
now he gets that.
So it's funny because they did that so many times in the franchise, and every time when it's always the original cut, they always kill Dewey, and then when the focus groups watch it, they're like, "What happened to Dewey?" He goes, "He's dead," and they're like, "No, we don't like that. Don't kill Dewey." Like that ruined the whole movie for me. They did that in 1. They did that in 2. They tried to do it in 3, but then they noticed that Dewey and Gail's relationship progressed more in the third one.
And then I think in 4,
they are not together.
4?
No, they're together in 4. They're not together in 5.
Yes.
Yeah,
because he left.
Yes.
They officially got divorced.
Yeah. I do like the whole plan because David Arquette hasn't had a great lifestyle ever since the Scream franchise. He's been running into drugs and stuff like that. So they kind of write in this whole like why he is the way that he is. Yeah. He's just a paranoid guy.
Yes.
And I'm like, you know what? That makes sense. Because David Arquette is very because in real life, he's like very twitchy, spastic and impulsive as well, too.
And and you know what? And I'm okay with that. The only thing I did I didn't like, because I thought it was like a full reversal.
Yeah.
And everything else. And I guess I kind of understand because it's 2 killers in 5.
Yeah.
When they kill Dewey.
Mm-hmm.
The killer specifically says, "This is an honor.
Mm-hmm.
It's an honor to kill you."
To kill you, yeah.
But then when you get into the final like fight inside of Stu's old home, the girlfriend is like, "Yeah, I stabbed him, and he bled out like a pig and everything else," and he was like, and she was like really like talking down to Dewey, and I was kind of like, that's not the same vibe that you had when you killed him.
So what I like that in the Scream franchise, whoever kills anyone is the actor playing that character.
Yes.
Because I rewatched the first one, and I've listened to it with better sound quality, and I could hear Matthew Lillard grunting when it's scenes with him playing as the character, and the same thing with the actor that plays Billy Loomis. Whenever they're running and grunt, and when they get hit, you could hear them going, "Ugh," and I'm like, "Oh, that sounds like Matthew Lillard." So that's his Matthew Lillard in the scene, and then I think that's how you can kind of tell. And Wes Craven has said that he goes, "Whoever is Ghostface is the actor in the thing, unless it's a dangerous stunt."
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah,
but I also feel like you have to kind of do that too, because their physicality needs to match.
Yes,
because the way that they're running, because when they finally take off the mask, they have to mimic what they were doing in the mask. Because if they're moving in a different way, then it looks weird. It's unbelievable. But I'm excited for Stu, and also, in case you don't know who the other person was, he is Sidney Prescott's brother.
Yeah, in Scream 3. Yeah.
So you have the original from Scream 3. You also have but I thought he died.
Yeah, in Scream 3 he died.
Doesn't he get shot in the head?
He gets shot in the head, unless it's they're doing that whole thing where, remember, the main girl sees her dad, Billy, like that kind of thing.
So now,
I guess Sydney sees him.
Are we now? My question is, I feel like that's a cop out. I feel like that's really dumb.
Unless they're doing something where Sydney sees her past killers in her head.
But they already kind of did that in 6, where like it was like the lineup and all their masks are being left at the kill sites.
So you know what's funny is that 6. I was so excited for 6 because I was like, oh, cool. So,
finally out of Woodsboro.
Yeah, we're out of Woodsboro and we're going to a different setting. We're going to New York. But I'm watching it and it feels like the reveal of the killer is leading up to Stu.
Yes.
I thought it was going to be Stu.
I think that's
at
what
the
I
end.
thought.
And I think that was
Stu had a big old question mark on
it. And then also Stu was mentioned in the
that's what
movie.
You think. Yeah, because they were like, "Oh, look, it's the TV that killed Stu."
Yeah,
and they were like, "Technically, that's what you think."
Yeah, like, "Oh, it's the TV that killed him." Well, yeah, if that's what you believe and stuff. I like that whole little nod that they're kind of like putting in this little plan of like we could bring back Stu. And I know Matthew Leonard. He's been wanting to. Yeah, he's been wanting to. It's just the studio doesn't want to do anything with him yet. But I think now, with the fans and the rise of Matthew Leonard, now he's getting a resurgence in the horror community. You know, him being in Five Nights at Freddy's now and stuff. So he's getting up there, you know, especially in age as well too. So I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with Stu. I hope we get to see him scarred from the TV.
What I want, and I think what you do instead is Stu is not the killer.
Yes.
He is Hannibal Lecter.
Okay.
He has gone further down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And you have the FBI agent. She is now dealing with another, because I think if you're really not going to do it and we can't set up another legacy character, a bunch of other legacy characters and everything like that. What about if there was just, now we have copycats?
Yeah. And that was the original intent for Stu in Scream 3. I think I told you this.
Yeah.
The Matthew Leonard has said this in cons where he was called by Wes Craven during the production of Scream 3 when it was originally supposed to release and how it originally was supposed to go. He said basically the whole premise of Scream 3 was I was supposed to come back, but it was going to be revealed that I am teaching future children or future serial killers how to do this and stuff like that I would be willing behind it. And I'm like, oh, and younger groups. But then he said we got as far as finishing the script, casting, and we were gonna shoot principal photography that day. Columbine happened, and he goes, so we had to completely scrap that idea.
It's a great idea, though.
Yes, it's a good idea. I like that idea.
I think it would be interesting if, because you've already introduced the FBI are now involved and they're past killers. What about if they were like, what if we go different genres of horror, of slasher? What if we went like, and this is a cult? Yes, like a cult of, like the cult of Ghostface.
Yeah, that was slightly hinted in the last one.
Yeah,
but that was Jack Quaid's family.
But the other thing is that they were talking about how they were on message boards. Yes. Like they've been on message boards, and they got radicalized by message boards.
And that's what happens in real life sometimes. Yeah, that's the thing.
I think that would be really interesting. Of Stu has been feeding people in message boards information, because in prison you could still get access to the internet.
It'd be cool to finally realize that Stu is the one behind Sense 4.
Yes.
He's the one that's like, I tried to recruit other people.
I've been recruiting
people to try to get Sydney and people from Woodsboro that have survived and stuff like that.
I think it would be more interesting if I was the one that was trying to get Loomis's family, because Billy betrayed me.
Yes. Oh, that'd be interesting.
Because Billy tries to kill him at the end of the movie.
He does, yeah.
Because he tries to become the sole survivor, and that's when he stabs him a whole bunch of times.
Yes, yeah.
And then he's like, "Man, I'm really getting woozy here.
I'm feeling woozy here, man."
I can't. I'm really hoping that they use Matthew Lillard like a Hannibal Lecter.
Yes, and you know what? Matthew Leonard can do it.
I think he can do a solid Hannibal Lecter vibe. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
I mean, let's face it, Sid. Your mom was no Sharon Stone.
That's a great movie. If you guys haven't seen,
such a quotable movie.
I feel like Scream is one of those 90s horror films that just holds up. It holds up so well.
It's so much better even when you watch it after the first time, because you get to see these subtle details between Stu and Billy. Like when because there's a scene when at the end of the movie where the party's about to happen.
Yeah.
And when Billy comes up, he gives this kind of like look to Stu, like I killed your girlfriend and stuff like that. Like I got it done, so we're good and stuff. So it's really cool. I've loved the Scream franchise since I was a kid. It's a series I've rewatched over and over again. I love the third one because of it has Creed in it, you know?
Oh, it does.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
It does.
I love it. It has that great song.
Three is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I do love 2 though.
2 is good.
Yeah, I really do miss Randy, but I do like in 3 where they brought him back, but it was a DVD.
Yeah,
it was a tape.
Yeah,
and then he's like, "These are the rules, Sid."
I love the mistake they thought of. Like, yeah, we made a mistake killing Randy.
How do we bring him back?
Yeah, like told you I was gonna make a movie someday. You know?
Yeah, that was it. That was really good. That was really, really good. All right, on to Stranger Things.
Mm-hmm.
So Stranger Things has released its first teaser art. It is a missing teen poster of Jane Hopper, 11, on it from the Hawkins PD.
That's interesting.
With a phone number on it.
Yeah.
The phone number is, in case you guys want to use it.
Yeah, because usually when they do stuff like that, it's a number you can actually call.
So while you were in the restroom taking a deuce.
Oh, did you call it?
Me and Mandy called it.
Oh, okay.
So me and Mandy called it.
I was gonna ask. I was just gonna say, like, tell Mandy to do it. She loves doing stuff like that.
She did. She listened to it twice because.
So what did it say? Yeah.
So it said that it was Hawkins PD. That they are looking. That this is Hawkins PD, and they were looking for several people of interest after the 7.4 earthquake that has happened in Hawkins.
Oh, okay.
Not only that, but Hawkins is under lockdown. And the main person of interest is Jane Hopper. And they need to find her or her body.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. Okay. I forgot her name is Jane. Yeah.
Yes.
I was thinking in my head, I thought it was, but her name's, isn't it Joyce, Winona Ryder's character?
Winona Ryder.
That's what I was like, wait, she married Hopper? No, it's just 11.
No. Yeah, it's just 11, but that's what they're, but that's what they're getting at.
That's cool.
They need to find her.
So that means in season 4? Is it 4?
Yeah.
Is it season 4 or 5?
This would be season 5.
Season 5. Wow.
Season 5.
So I guess in season 5 they're just in hiding then. Her.
That's what it sounds like. So the actual, so I'll put it up on the screen right here. But what it says is a reward of $3,000 will be paid for all leads that results in the location of Jane Hopper or her body.
That's crazy.
Last seen walking on the sidewalk near Hawkins High School, where she mysteriously disappeared that afternoon, the 13th of June, 1986. Contact the Hawkins Police Department if you have any information regarding the whereabouts of this person. And then it gives you the phone number at the bottom. If you guys want, call the number. It's really cool. It's probably like 20 seconds.
This will be for our audio listeners. So the number is 765-303-2020.
Yeah, go check that out.
Yeah.
It was really cool. It was only like 20 seconds, but it was really weird though because it sounds more militaristic than it actually does of like the PD. So what it sounds like is the government has taken over Hawkins. Yeah. In lockdown, and they're basically in a quarantine zone.
Yeah, that's what I figured. They're not letting anything in or out of Hawkins, which makes sense. That's a thing with that big old. Was it the breach?
Yeah, the breach, the big old breach that's
reaching
there.
all across Hawkins and stuff.
So
like
I'm
that.
assuming that creatures are escaping, and they figure the only thing that could close it is 11.
Yeah, that's gonna be a big job. She might, you know what they might do then if that's the case. If she has to be the one to close it, she might die. Because you saw how she was struggling in season 2.
I wouldn't be surprised, or. Because remember also in was it season 2 or season 3 when she meets the others?
2.
That was in season 2, right?
Yeah.
Where I think they come.
That'd be cool. I mean,
because that's a full circle.
Yeah, that's
a full circle moment.
I like that.
Because you do have the others that escaped, and they kind of made like their own little gang.
Yeah.
I think that would probably be a great way of coming full circle. Because I feel like that time with them is kind of me.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was supposed to be a backdoor pilot
for them.
For them, yeah. And again, when some shows will do that. Some of them are good, some of them are not. That's the thing. Some suck. It's funny how Netflix thought that was going to be something, but I don't know. I think I'd rather watch a spinoff of Steve.
Steve, what he's been doing?
Yeah, what he's been doing. I'd rather watch Steve.
I think it, but that's what I want though, is because I feel like how else with this giant breach, why not bring those characters back?
Yeah,
give them their time to shine and everything else, because you already kind of wrote where they were going because you were going to write a series.
Yeah.
So why not just put them in that future state and just kind of go, okay, this is what they've been up to lately and everything else. I think that would be really cool.
That'd be really cool.
And it would also make a lot of sense.
Definitely.
Okay, let's see. Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
Season 6 poster has finally been released. Have you seen it yet?
I haven't seen it, actually.
Ooh, you haven't seen it?
No.
It's actually quite nice.
Oh, it's just the mat?
It's the mat. And
That's
it says,
cool.
Back in the Valley, one final fight.
That's cool.
So,
wait, Back in the Valley?
Back in the Valley.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
So, well, obviously, you can't finish Cobra Kai in Japan.
No, especially how the way it ended.
Yeah, I'm just curious to see where it continues from there.
Yeah. Well, because also when we see Daniel in the next Karate Kid, or in Karate Kid Legends, he looks like he's
been through some stuff.
He's been through some stuff. So I'm thinking, I don't know how it's going to end for Daniel. I'm hoping not too bad.
Do you think he disbands? Do you think
maybe it ends with him spiraling?
I don't know if it's him, because I feel
he looks defeated.
I don't know. That's a great idea. Or
does he stay in Japan?
No, because
he's China. He's not in Japan, is he? Or are they? No, they're in China.
Oh, they're in China. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here's my thing. I'm not entirely too sure, but I think that it's a full circle, because I feel like it's a real downer of the series if one of the Karate Kids is in the lowest form, the lowest point. So I think that whatever happened with Miyagi during the first Tekai Sekai will be revealed. What happened in that supposed murder situation will be revealed.
Yeah.
And then I think that Johnny is going to continue teaching, but Daniel is just going to help fund.
Oh,
he's going to take a step back and he's going to be like, Daniel knows my methods. Him and Sozin can kind of continue and they can do everything else, but I'm ready to live my life again. I'm okay with not being a teacher anymore.
Yeah, makes sense.
And if you need me, I am here.
Yeah.
And everything else, because I feel like what about if he's in the same state Miyagi was at the beginning of Karate Kid, where he no longer wants to teach?
Oh, that's a cool full circle. Yeah, and then we have to see that in Karate Kid Legends.
Yeah, where they're pulling it back out of him.
Okay, I like that.
You get what I mean?
Yeah, no,
that makes
sense.
It's a nice full circle of him being in the same place Miyagi was in the beginning of the first Karate Kid.
No, I like that. Yeah,
yeah,
that's cool. Yeah,
it's like poetry. It rhymes.
Right, it writes itself. It basically writes itself, guys.
It's like poetry. It rhymes. All right. Also, the final season is coming pretty soon. It's going to be on February 13th.
Wow.
So we're only like 2 weeks away.
Dude, that week we're busy.
Yeah, we're going to be very busy.
Yeah, that week we're going to be doing Captain America, and then we got to watch Cobra Kai on top of that. Man. That's a lot.
What's up with Cobra Kai coming out at the same time as Marvel movies?
I don't know. I don't know what they're going to think. Well, maybe you watch Cobra Kai before you're showing Captain America.
Or, while you're waiting in line.
Yeah.
Just...
Trying to get that popcorn bucket.
Godzilla X Kong news. Dan Stevens, Trapper, has been confirmed to return for the sequel.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He was in the
last one.
He was. I feel like he was the heart of the movie.
Of the last one? Yeah.
Because he was so excited.
I told you this. Every actor that stars in those movies don't go past 3 movies.
That's fair. Billy Bobby Brown, she did 3, right?
She did 2. She did Godzilla, King of Monsters, and then Godzilla vs. Kong. Never to be seen again. And then
she went to the Upside Down.
Yeah.
She's in the Upside Down.
Same thing with her dad. the actor that plays her dad.
Okay.
He got written out by not written out. It was just like they showed him at what he was doing in Kong versus Godzilla, and then that's it. Same thing with the podcast guy. He was in Kong versus Godzilla, but then he was in New Empire. So I don't think we're going to see him in the next one. If he comes back in this one, he's the first actor to go past.
To go past 2?
Yeah, 2, yeah. I've noticed that. That's the thing.
I don't know. He's Megatron, so it's hard.
Yeah, he is Megatron.
He's Megatron now,
yeah.
so it's hard to say. But I am excited. I think what did Bryan say he was going to be? There was a mech that's in the actual Godzilla franchise that fights with Godzilla.
That one thing.
Yeah, the one thing.
I forgot. I don't know what that thing is called. You know me. I'm not into. I don't know Godzilla a lot.
I'm not a huge guy.
Yeah.
The one time we need Bryan.
I know. The one time. I know he would just easily say it right now. But I was gonna say it's just gonna give you Mecha Godzilla.
Yeah, I know. That helps. Godzilla. Which one is it? I don't know.
Wait, go to images to see if it's that one if you're talking about. Which one?
Is it this?
It's like he's like red and silver and yellow, right? Or something.
Yeah,
like that.
he's like this. Like he looks like a fighter.
Look up Godzilla's allies.
Oh, okay.
I think that might be easier.
Okay.
Do you have the cap lock on?
Yes.
I was like, what? It looks like you're Godzilla allies.
There it is.
That guy. Yeah.
Okay, who's that?
Show a picture. You're gonna have to put up a picture.
What does he look like?
For the podcast, for the video podcast, you're gonna have to put up a picture.
Jet Jaguar.
There it is. Oh my God, I am so sorry, guys.
Yeah, sorry, Bryan.
They're yelling at us right now. It's Jet Jaguar. I can't hear you because this has been recorded beforehand. So I'm like.
You're yelling at yourself.
Yeah, you're literally yelling at yourself in your car, and Lewis is yelling at himself in the shower.
God, I hope he's on the alley.
Right?
But yeah, Jet Jaguar. I think that would be a perfect.
That would be cool. I would love to see that.
Because he was already like into the mech stuff and doing everything else. And I remember Bryan was saying last time, like it would be a perfect kind of roundabout way of getting Jet Jaguar into the series. I think that'd be a perfect way. Him, Kong, Jet Jaguar.
We could only do because they brought back Mothra twice now, and Mothra was, and that's the thing. I thought Mothra was on Earth somewhere, but I guess this version of Mothra in New Empire, he's in the Hollow Earth the whole time.
I don't know. There's a lot of Godzilla villains.
There is,
and creatures, and stuff like that.
I would love to see a Mecha King Ghidorah.
Ooh, that would be. Oh, maybe that's the next one.
Maybe because I love.
Didn't they do Ghidorah?
They did Ghidorah, but they did the one thing that I was hoping they wouldn't do was when they took one of the heads that got cut off from Ghidorah and they took it into Godzilla versus Kong, and then they made that. They turned that into Mecha Godzilla. Yeah.
You think they have the same idea and go like, okay, so Mecha Godzilla didn't work. But Mecha Ghidorah. I mean, maybe that's where we went wrong.
That was stronger than Godzilla.
Yeah, so maybe that's where we went wrong.
Yeah,
just
we need something stronger.
Yeah, we'll double
that
down.
Could possibly kill us. But it's Mecha Ghidorah.
We have Kong.
Yeah, we have Kong. So he got Kong in his accent, and he's like all king of the apes.
You know what? You know what I really want? I want that moment where I want Kong to get bigger.
That's why I don't
want him to stay so small.
I think we're gonna see a progression in Kong through this one and the new one because they emphasized him talking to the baby Kong too as well too.
Him being king.
Him being king, and I think he's gonna get too old in this one. I think he's gonna get older, and we'll see that he's very much like he can't keep doing this.
Well, he already had grays in his beard and stuff. I think that would be okay.
They made Kong in that one a zaddy. Just like he's like presents himself. He's like Mandy was watching it and she was like, "Whoa."
Am I about to have sex with a
am I considering? No, it's not that. She was just like she liked his the way he was presenting himself.
So don't tell me when she went home with walk like Kong.
Walk like Kong. Yeah. Walk like you're just big swinging.
Like you big swinging.
Yeah. I
feel like that's a good skit of like as King Kong is fighting, you just see his monster dick just. But that's destroying buildings.
Yes. There's a comic called that, and it's called
the Dong of Kong.
No, it's called the Great. It's called the Great Cockjew, and it's literally Image put it out. It's a comic book, and it's literally about a giant kaiju destroying and having sex with buildings. He literally grabs a bus and sticks his big old thing in it and stuff. And you see people panicking and stuff like that. So guess what the government does? They build their own mech suit. A big old mech. And then awesome. This big mech it will help.
It's like a hole.
Yeah,
it's just a hole.
There's a hole, and there's like a contraction.
I like how their solution was we shouldn't kill it.
Yes,
but we should just help it.
Yes, basically, and it'll go away.
Let's make the world's largest fleshlight.
Yes, basically, the most expensive fleshlight that's going to cost all of our tax dollars.
Absolutely.
Yes,
that's the most important thing. As long as that kaiju gets off.
Trump's America, everyone.
Trump's America.
And we lost 3 listeners.
Fake news.
Yeah.
Squid Games season. Squid Games season 3 has a release date. Yes. June 27th.
7? Oh, yeah, June 20th. Oh, okay. Oh, it comes out this year?
Comes out this year, June 27th.
That's crazy. Did you see that after season 3? And then like they're spawning different Squid Games
to go to like US.
Yeah, they're gonna go US and Squid Games World.
Here's my thing.
Yeah,
I don't like that they told us that.
Me too. I would like that at the end of the season.
That alludes.
It's a bigger world.
There's a bigger world, yes, but also that kind of alludes that he loses.
It kind of does. I'm hoping they don't kill his character off.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
But it does. What it feels like is you won, but you really lost.
Yes.
Like we were an experiment, but we proved that the experiment works, and we've already expanded, and everything else. And
we're just been keeping it going. Yeah.
Yeah, like we've already expanded, and this is happening all over the world, and we were just a small test zone. And I'm really hoping, and I by you admitting, oh yeah, they're all connected. There's one in America. There's going to be one in the world. There's going to be one, like basically one's all over the world. I was like,
it does, yeah, because that would have been a better reveal at the end of season 3.
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
You see him walk in after he's like conquered everything.
Yeah, he's finished.
Steps in and he's like, I'm done. And then TVs just start.
Different Squid Games, yeah.
And it just says UK.
Yeah.
Australia, UK, Australia, France, and it just like keeps going, and you're like,
Russia, they're just drinking vodka, chugging vodka.
Germany is just beer fest.
Yeah, it's just beer fest.
It's just beer fest there. No, but I think that would have been such a cool image of like just and like the whole wall of TVs turns on, and you're seeing like all these different like time zones and everything else, and all these, and then bets going off and everything else, and just going.
He sees like the computer message board of like all these like VIPs talking about it. Oh, I bet I'll put in like 3 million for this. I'll put in like 10 billion for this one and stuff.
And then you just realize that I only scratched the surface. Yeah. Like all this work, and I didn't stop anything. Yes,
all this time and money I put into trying to stop these games, I have to stop the other games.
Yes,
which would be cool. Unless I don't know. I really hope they don't kill him off and then being like, oh, okay, well, we're gonna follow the American version, and that's when the true uprise will happen because it's in America. And I'm like, I would feel so cheated by that. I'd be like, no, it has to be.
But I feel like
player 456 that does this.
I feel like that's a perfect terrible ending.
Yeah,
like not like a bad ending, but I feel like it's a perfect damn it. Like I like that moment where he's just
you feel accomplished with it because you've been through these for years with him, and you understand that high moment of I finally stopped it. I won. He won.
He's covered in blood.
He truly won the games.
Yeah, he's like covered in blood. He's got like dead bodies all around
the frontier man's like head's been blown off.
Yeah,
and it's like
he's killed all of the higher ups and everything like that. And he's like, and then all you see is just bloop bloop
Yeah.
And then all you need to see is just it's zoom out. And then you just see him on a monitor.
Yes.
And then people betting on whether or not he was going to win. And like that's their that was their version. Like that would have been such a cool and terrible ending of just going like, no.
Yes. And I know we mentioned on the podcast, but season 2 was great.
Oh yeah, season 2 was amazing.
Oh, so much better than season 1.
So good.
And that was the one thing I was worried about when season 2. Yeah, how do we get that high moment? How do we get you to be afraid again? And they did that in the first episode with that Russian roulette game, and also just when player 456, I'm gonna say player 456. I don't remember his name. Player 456 finally meets the recruiter. And how unhinged he is. And
you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, this guy's nuts.
Oh my God. I just want to watch that first episode.
Yeah, that first episode was sick.
Yeah. But I'm excited for Squid Game season 3. I want to see how it ends, and I want to see where it goes after that.
Yeah. Also, if you guys love death game kind of stuff.
Yes.
Battle Royale is a great movie. Good. It's a Korean
I still
film.
watch Battle Royale over and over again.
It's a Korean film all about like these high school kids that are all trying to get into this exclusive high school and they gotta kill each other over it.
Which I'm surprised not even the country that made that tried to remake that movie at all.
So, because it's such a perfect movie.
It is.
I think Quentin Tarantino even said too. He goes, my favorite movie, if I could have ever made like a perfect movie, it would have been Battle Royale.
Oh, that would have been great.
He goes, that's my perfect movie. It's my favorite movie of all time. What is it called? If you also like anime, there's Darwin's Game.
Oh, have you ever seen Darwin's Game? I've heard of that one actually. Yeah.
Darwin's Game is an interesting version of a death game. Yeah. It's you get sucked into a death game where basically you're battling people in the city and everything else, but when you accept the death game, it activates your innate powers.
Oh,
so everybody gets a special ability.
I like that. Yeah, that's cool actually. That reminds me of a Dead Man Wonderland.
Kind of like Dead Man Wonderland,
but it's like basically everyone has like blood manipulation. You know, but it's just cool.
That was pretty good too.
I like Dead Man Wonderland. It has one of the greatest intros of all time as well too. I like Dead Man Wonderland because it had an interesting concept and it played on the fact that like, oh yeah, you're using your blood as your own powers.
So if you run out of blood,
you get dizzy and stuff. And I love how the main character has a blood power of he has to shoot.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, and everyone else is like they can turn their blood into blades or hooks or knives and stuff like that, or a baton.
The interesting thing about Darwin's Game, because I love this anime so much. The only thing I'm disappointed in, it's only one season.
So same thing with Dead Man Wonderland.
It's only 12 episodes, but
is it over?
It ends with and then it continues, and there has been like no word of like.
How long has it been out?
Like 2 years. It's been out like for 2 years.
Sometimes that happens with anime.
Yeah.
I mean, it took Attack on Titan 4 years?
Something like that. Yeah, but
for season 2.
But the interesting thing was the thing I like about the show so much is that everybody's innate ability is completely different. And it's all about them on how exactly they use their abilities. So like one of the girls, she can manipulate anything that has a string like material.
Okay.
So like hair, wire, chains, and she can actually make them float and like control them with her brain.
Wow.
And everything else, which is pretty sick.
Yeah.
One is the guy has teleportation and he can saw people in half with his hands.
Oh, really?
So it's pretty cool. He has like spatial manipulation. Others have like weaker powers.
Yeah.
Where like one can just tell when people are lying.
Oh. Okay.
And everything else.
So that's useful, though.
Yeah, it's a useful ability, but it's also in a death game where people can manipulate like knives and stuff like that. True, yeah. I can tell when people are lying.
You're lying to me.
But it's a great story because the protagonist is a teenager who opens the app on accident because his friend sends it to him.
Okay.
And he doesn't know what his friend is in trouble.
Yeah.
In the games, and he calls he tries to get a friend to help him, and he sends the app to him so that way he can join the game to help him out.
Okay. Is it on Crunchyroll?
It is on Crunchyroll.
Is it on Hulu or is it also?
I believe it is on Hulu as well.
I'll check it out.
And it's completely dubbed.
Okay, I'll check it out.
You can watch it. Yeah,
definitely.
Solid
cool.
solid anime. Yeah, it's a really good one. All right. That's it for comic strips.
Okay.
I don't think we.
Yeah, we were exuding the time that we already thought we were going to get, but I guess this is going to be a normal show.
Yeah, this is going to be a normal show. Into the main topic.
Yes.
Let's get into Spider-Man.
Yeah, let's get that out of the way. No, it's not that it's a bad show.
Yeah, it's not. I was talking with Sean earlier. Sean did not make it past the first 10 minutes of this show.
Shocking, right? No, it's just I play on this joke that Sean doesn't really like the Universal stuff that we like on the show. Which, I mean, that's fine.
It's also great to have that opinion.
It's good to have that opinion. I'm glad he has that opinion.
I'm glad he hates.
It makes it easier to review.
Yeah.
Not just a bunch of three nerds that are just saying, sucking the teat.
Yeah. Like, isn't it good?
Yeah. Sean's like, no.
Dude, it smells like boo.
Yeah.
Like, it smells like boo. Yeah. Like, you're sucking on that?
Yeah.
Like, it smells terrible.
That's basically how he is. when we tell him, like, oh, yeah, we love the core. You guys like the core? Like,
why are you guys sucking it off? Yeah. It's not that good.
It's not that good.
It's Aaron Eckhart's least favorite movie.
Whoa! Aaron Eckhart was a treasure in that movie. Like, so was Hilary Swank. Like,
oh yeah. So anyway, Spider-Man. What was it?
Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah, your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man came out this week
on Disney Plus.
On Disney Plus, first 2 episodes.
This show was getting a lot of clap, a lot of hype. So a lot of people were already nitpicking. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, it looks great." People were bagging on the animation, which I think we can both agree the animation is a little choppy.
It is not my favorite.
It's not. But you know what it is? You know what? It's better than What If animation. And I'm tired of looking at What If animation.
You know what? I am, But this also leads to a stylization thing because this is a choice.
Yeah.
It was a choice to make it look like a comic book. And I get it.
Yes.
And I do understand. But for some reason, I feel the way they did it in things like The Last of Us and the Walking Dead games looks better.
No.
Like that looks a lot better.
If they did it that way, that would have been better. You know,
I think that would have looked better.
I'm watching the show. It kinda reminds me of the Neil Patrick Harris animated Spider-Man show. At least like the format. Like if you look at it, if you really look at it and like the boldness of the outlines and stuff, it kind of reminds me of the Neil Patrick Harris Spider-Man show.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So the big thing that kind of hit the news, unfortunately, Hudson Thames, the actor that is playing Peter Parker, he came out in an interview and he says, "My biggest fear for the show was that it was going to be annoying and woke."
End quote.
End quote. Mind you, the question was, what does it feel like to how did you feel when
you were cast?
When you were first cast in the show? And he goes, "My biggest fear was that it was going to be annoying and woke."
See, when you're asked that question, you say, "I was nervous. I was hesitant."
Such an easy question. It's a layup.
And you know what's funny? You know what's funny? That was probably his first question, and the interviewer was like, "What?
Like what the?
You do realize I have to report this back, right? Like
we're live.
Yeah.
Like, you idiot.
Yeah. Okay. So we were talking about this before the podcast.
We don't know what he meant. Like 100%. I don't know. I'm trying
not to play devil's advocate because at the same time, I'm not trying to defend what he said, but I'm trying to realize in the mindset.
What do you think this dumbass was saying?
Because first off, you don't say that. And I think what he wanted to say was talking about how Marvel has been lately. And that's the biggest complaint. Yeah, and we're pandering to a certain demographic, which is
we're pandering to LGBT.
Yeah.
We're pandering to women. We're pandering to African American people.
My answer
minorities in general.
When people say stuff like that, is we're pandering to so and so. My answer to that is it's today. It's happening today. There are African American people in today's life. There are LGBTQ people out here today. They're in our day-to-day lives. Yeah. So why wouldn't they be in a form of media? You know?
And you know what? And I can kind of see where it's because there is stuff that does pander far too much, and I feel like it does hurt.
Yes,
it does hurt where it's almost where it's too woke.
Yeah.
I feel like Sabrina suffered from that.
Sabrina suffered heavily from that. I liked the show Sabrina when it first started.
Yes.
And then it started having agendas where it's specifically telling you certain things. And it's like, it's fine if you do that, but if you do that throughout your whole series and it wasn't established already before,
make it connect.
Yes.
Don't just and then this happened. Like don't try to like make a message where it didn't originally exist.
Yeah.
And I do and I can understand it from that point of view.
That's
of
the
like
thing, yeah.
It was going to be too woke and it's going to be all these things.
But that's stuff you say when you're like well into the series, you know, or not when you're not even the show has come out yet. That's the thing. When he was interviewed, the show didn't even come out yet. Well, and that was the biggest complaint of the show was and then we were talking about this as well too. Everyone thought Harry Osborn was transgendered on the show because he looked feminine and he had earrings on.
And they were like, "Oh, Harry Osborn's a trans."
Not the case at all.
Yeah, and they're like, "No, he's not. He just has
He's
earrings.
rich.
He's rich. He's wearing earrings and he lives in Queens.
He looks fancy.
He lives in New York.
Yeah. He looks fancy. Well off. He's a fancy boy. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why people are having such a hard time with the Osborns.
Oh,
I don't get it because people didn't like that.
What
that Osborn is African American for one. They did not like that. They didn't like that Harry is African American as well. Which also his hair makes more sense now.
Thank you. You know what? I was gonna say that, but I wasn't too sure.
His hair makes way more sense
in the comics.
It looks weird. Like you're almost like, oh, dude, what do you do? Do you get like a buzzer?
You know what's funny? I was watching the animated '90s show, and in the show, Harry and Norman have that
haircut.
That haircut. And she goes, "Why do their hair look like that?" And I go, "That's how it's drawn in the comic books.
That's how it's always been.
It's always been like that. That's how we know that's Osborn hair."
Yeah, for some reason.
Yeah.
But you know what? And the more I'm listening to the creator talk about Norman,
your favorite Spider-Man,
the more I'm interested in it.
Yeah,
because I like where they're starting this. So they started off with. Peter is going to Mid-Valley High. It's his first day. It's his freshman year. He's going to orientation with Aunt May.
Yeah.
He is not Spider-Man yet.
Yes.
He's a freshman going to high school. Then a portal opens. Doctor Strange and a version of Venom falls through the portal. They get into a fight, destroying Mid-Valley High. And then a spider falls from the portal
and bites
Peter.
Which is interesting. That was an interesting change up. I didn't mind that at all. I do like the idea of that is from a different interdimensional world that bites Peter. It makes it more interesting and stuff like that. And I do like the voice actor that sounds for Peter and stuff like that, because usually 9 times out of 10 when this is like the 10th Spider-Man show that they've done. Yeah. And I never watched any of the other ones. I think the only other Spider-Man show that I watched that wasn't the 1990s one was Drake Bell, the Ultimate Spider-Man. I've seen clips of it.
Drake Bell's actually pretty good. I do like him as Spider-Man.
I never sat down and watched the Ultimate Spider-Man, but I watched episodes of it, and it was good. It was good. This one is very interesting. I like that they have Nico in it. Because she's supposed to be the necromancer.
But they open up because she's a member of the Runaways.
Yes.
You also have Lincoln. What was it? What's his name? Lincoln. Tombstone.
Yes.
He's Tombstone in the actual comics. Lonnie Lincoln.
Oh, that actor is really cool too. I really like that actor.
Yeah. Lonnie Lincoln is in it. What else?
Coleman Domingo does the voice of Norman Osborn.
Yeah, Coleman Domingo. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, and that's why he was talking about it. And he was like, I was actually kind of apprehensive of playing Norman Osborn.
Yeah.
Because I thought everybody already knows Norman Osborn. Like, what different take can I have on Norman?
I like this interesting that, what I loved about it was the end of the first episode, the parallels of it. It was between Civil War. I love that.
They almost did a shot for shot for Civil War.
Same music and everything.
Yeah, where he finds the DVD player, has the same music. He sees a fancy car in front of his house.
Car parked outside.
Yeah, and it's the scene where Tony Stark gets introduced to Peter Parker, but this time it's Norman
Osborn.
And this time, Norman Osborn is actually trying to give him a job.
He's trying to actually help him,
Yeah, not recruit him for... And I think it's interesting, too, because it also kind of shows how much smarter Tony is compared to Norman. Because he figured out he was Spider-Man.
Oh, yes.
Instantly. Yeah. Like, he was just like, well, you're Spider-Man.
Yeah, Norman didn't even put that together yet. So,
he hasn't put it together. And he's just kind of like, oh.
Plus, it brings in this new opportunity of, Peter is going to be an intern at Oscorp, and we're going to see all these future scientists and stuff, all these future villains. We'll see in Oscorp.
Because we also get introduced to a female version of the Lizard.
Yeah.
We also get what was it? So you're getting all of these, like, I think the Wizard as well. Like, you're getting the Hulk.
Oh yeah.
What's his name? Shoot. I can't remember what the second Hulk's name is. Shoot. Who is the second Hulk?
Man. I forgot.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It is Vamp.
Sorry. I'm like looking with you.
Yeah, I know.
No, but what I liked about Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and what I'm really excited for, is that I want to see Peter kind of like see this descent of Norman Osborn by looking up to him and seeing him become this villain, and then realizing and stuff like that of how he's been betrayed, kind of like in Spider-Man for Doc Ock in the game. Like, I helped you become... Was it Rick Jones?
No.
Okay. No, not Manifesto, is it? That Hulk! Yeah. Was it Adamatus Cho? Yes, Adamatus Cho. Yeah. He becomes the second Hulk. He's the totally awesome Hulk.
But Adamatus Cho is the guy that you meet inside of the lab.
Oh, that's right.
That's Adamatus Cho.
That would be cool if they turned him into a Hulk. I would like that a lot.
So, and it's interesting because you're seeing a lot of these people showing up. You're seeing how they're being introduced, and you're kind of already seeing how they're setting up the roadblocks of this is going to end terrible for Peter. Because he's like, I really like these people, and then you're like,
is that how you looked it up? I just realized that. I just realized how you looked it up. Okay, never mind.
I couldn't think of any other way, but it got us to where we needed it.
We found the answer,
and we're not telling how I got there.
No, we're not. But I'm really interested. I don't know why Marvel Studios hasn't brought in Adamatus Cho yet.
You know what? And I think that's the cool part.
Yeah.
Is that he's never really been done in live action.
You do it, MCU. What the hell? Kevin Feige.
He hasn't been done but he hasn't really been done in cartoon.
But you could do more. You could do more with that Hulk than with Bruce Banner Hulk, because again, it's a rights issue, and then also because Mark Ruffalo is super busy, and stuff like that.
Not only that, but also Adamatus Cho is a teenager.
Yeah.
When he becomes the Hulk, and he can actually control his version of the Hulk.
Snap, turn on, turn off.
Yeah. He doesn't have to get angry or anything like that.
I think he was studying Banner's research and found a way to make it better.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he doesn't create the other guy. So that's that's pretty cool. The thing I do like about this one is that Peter he's making friends at his new high school that he goes to. Afterwards, he's in this internship, and he's also trying to be Spider-Man. How do you like his Spider-Man suit?
I don't mind it because it's prototyped right now.
It is a very prototype suit.
But I'm not mad at it.
He has the wires.
I like how the wires are I like how the wires are so long from his wrist to his back. They hang out and stuff like that. So I like they're
compressed.
Yeah,
it's the air compression in the back, and I I do like the way that Peter's thinking, and then he goes, okay, cool. The distance over there, so this. Okay, so I need this much pressure.
So I think when he goes, so that's why they wrote in why he goes to Oscorp. I think he's going to use Oscorp resources to perfect his gear.
So from what I've been seeing from like screenshots of like further down the season, I think Norman Osborn is going to be his Tony.
Yes. Yeah.
So because at the very end of the second episode, Norman Osborn is brought into Norman Osborn's office. I think Norman already kind of suspected he was Spider-Man.
Probably.
That's how he got the internship.
He's just not openly saying it. Yeah.
But he needed proof.
Yes.
Like I think he had a suspicion, and he was waiting, and he knew if I bring Peter into the building, he'll change into Spider-Man in the cameras.
Yeah.
Because that's what he does. There's a situation going on. He he puts the mask on. Yeah. And then at the very end of the episode, he's brought to Norman's office, and then he shows him, so you're Spider-Man. I think it's going to be interesting because it's already been greenlit for 3 seasons.
Yeah.
It's already been greenlit. Like the first season hasn't even been through, and we've already got 3 seasons of this thing. Yeah. So no matter what, I mean, they could always take it away.
They could.
And say, we're not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure they're going to hit their 3 season.
Yeah.
I think that it's an interesting idea of putting Norman Osborn as the man in the chair. I think that's a cool idea. And getting Harry involved.
I think what it is that he's going to study him. And then by the time that Norman becomes Green Goblin, that's going to be the biggest turnaround. That he's going to become Green Goblin, and Peter knows and Norman knows how Peter fights, so he knows how to counter.
And that's what I mean from the images that I saw. It's Norman talking to Peter, and he's zooming into his suit, and he's going, "How did you make this?" And it's basically he's upgrading his suit. Yeah. So I'm assuming that little by little we're going to start getting rid of certain things on the suit. Yeah. And then we're going to get closer to the actual suit of Spider-Man, and it's going to be Oscorp tech. You've already introduced Tony Stark. We already know Captain America and the Avengers exist. It's going to be interesting to kind of see how Norman Osborn interacts with those people and everything else. I'm expecting at one point we are going to see maybe a Captain America, maybe
an Avenger,
an Avenger of some kind besides Doctor Strange. Yeah, because we still have to explain what happened. Yeah. Because Doctor Strange made it sound like he is from a future. Because he goes, we're not supposed to be here. Yeah. It's true. That was his big thing. He was like, oh, because he goes like, uh-oh, where are we? And then he looks around and he sees Peter and he's like, we're not supposed to be here.
Right. And from what I've heard too, Daredevil's supposed to be in it, and it's voiced by Charlie Cox.
That's interesting. Yeah. I love that. I love the idea of that, where I'm totally okay with it. I mean, so far I'm in.
Yeah, the show's good. The show's not bad.
The animation style is a problem.
It's our only critique.
It's my main critique of the show. I feel like that is my main critique of the show. I like the way that, I know when I was talking to Sean earlier, he was saying he didn't like the voice because he felt it was too Tom Holland-esque.
I like that.
Like he was trying to be Tom Holland.
I didn't mind that. I like that. I like that he tried to sound like Tom Holland because it makes it easier to listen.
Yeah. Yeah. Tom Holland's so lovable. It's hard. You just fall in love. Yeah. Oh, so I mean, I'm going to continue the show. Yes, same.
Obviously, we're not going to stop talking about the show because Bryan's not here yet to say his piece on it. Yeah. So obviously next week that's going to be something we're going to talk about. Bryan's take on the show.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So look forward to that, guys.
Yeah. And last piece of topic and everything else, Superman is back in the news. Yay. I swear to God. So first thing is, let's get through the dumb controversy that was happening. Yeah. This week they revealed the TV spot for Superman. It was the first TV spot, which actually shows him flying. Like it shows him flying through the air, and then he gets real close up to the screen, and you see the cape flapping, everything else.
You see him flying through the glaciers.
Yeah, it looked sick.
It looked cool.
I loved it. I was like, this is a very cool moment.
Yeah.
People were complaining online because they are saying that why does the CGI look so terrible?
Listen, Snyder fans, you got to get over that you're not going to get your Man of Steel 2, okay?
What
Henry Cavill is not coming back.
Henry Cavill is I think it's so terrible that you just aren't giving this movie its fair shot. Let's watch the damn thing.
Yeah.
Like I get you guys are like, oh, maybe if we just talk enough crap,
it won't happen.
Maybe we'll just shut it down.
No, that's not going to happen.
But that's not going to happen. Now,
if Ezra Miller can do what he could do,
and they still release
the movie and pay him, I think Warner Brothers is still going to release this movie.
Yeah. And then that's what brings us to the real villain.
Yes.
Superman also got into the news yesterday. Actually, I believe this news broke yesterday that the person who was in charge of the estate for Joseph Schuster is suing Warner Brothers DC Comics for the copyrights of Superman.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to do about this because not only are they suing them for the copyright of Superman, because they're saying that after 25 years they still haven't been paid after the creators Joseph Siegel and what was it? I
hate to do this to you, but I gotta go take a leak.
I'll talk about myself.
I was like, this was a mistake drinking. Having 3 drinks right here.
You can't do me.
No, I can't.
What is it with that seat and
I
drinks?
don't know. This is your spot. I'm just filling in the spot.
It has
to be drinks on this side. I'm sorry, guys. I gotta go really quick.
Go. But yeah, so Superman is getting sued. It's so weird to have this situation happening just because Superman is being sued by one of the creators' estates. It is saying that they haven't paid the rights and licensing for the movie, for the actual movie rights and the distribution rights in Canada, Australia, and also in Europe. It's so wild that this came out at the time that it did, because they're saying that they want halt on everything. They're wanting halt on the distribution and also the release of the July movie, and also some comic book stuff. I don't really know how to really judge that, because for one, there's been a long time that Superman has been out, that you're coming out with it now. And I feel like the main reason why they're doing it is because... Huh?
It was like Niagara Falls.
It was like Niagara Falls in there. But I feel like the main reason why they're doing this is because Superman is so in the news. Mm-hmm. It's so popular in the news right now. But not only that, but also it's so negatively in the news.
I feel like it was like someone was talking to them or the estate, like friends of friends. They're like, "Hey, didn't like a family member of yours created Superman? Yeah, aren't you getting like that crazy money?" No.
Like, well, you know what? But I feel like they hadn't been getting crazy money for a while.
From what
they're saying, they haven't been getting crazy money for a while. But but this is my big thing.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers kind of covered their butts back in the day when they were when DC Comics was first coming out, because they did the same thing with the Marvel Comics as well.
Yeah.
Is when they were sold a character, they bought them pretty much in perpetuity. Mm-hmm. They would go, okay, cool, that's my character. Like, yes, you created them and you're writing them, but they're Marvel characters. They're Detective Comics characters now, which is now DC.
I actually had a guy that came in. He hasn't read any comic books, and he was like, "I'm looking for stuff that Stan Lee worked on," and I'm like,
go to the Marvel wall.
Yeah. No, but like directly worked with.
Oh man,
worked on. And I go, dude, that's like stuff that happened in like the 70s and like late 80s. He may have stopped by that time, and he was the one just overseeing everything.
Yes,
I had to tell him like, oh yeah, no, Stan Lee is the type of person that he created it. he wrote it,
and then he walked away.
And then he walked away because he had faith that writers understood what he meant and what's different stories. And that's what I think that's great about Stan Lee as well too. He had faith in writers of his own characters that he created.
He was such a clever person.
Yeah,
I love Stan Lee talking about the day back in the day where he would just mess with DC Comics.
Yeah,
and I love the idea where he was like, well, they used to think that the reason why we sell more comic books is because of all the letters and everything like that. So they started doing all of their letterheads the same way that we did ours. Yeah. So then I made them really small, and then we were still outselling them.
Yeah.
So then they started going, oh well, maybe it's all the graphic art that's on the other sides. They have a lot of graphic art and a lot of like little boxes all over their thing. So then he goes, so the following week I took all the boxes. Jeez. And then we still outsold them. Yeah. Because for years they were trying to do it. And I always loved when Stan Lee would go to our competition. I loved it. I love it so much. But for this, I do feel like they're leeching into this negativity of this movie because they are inside the lawsuit and the complaint. They do want this movie not to release on July 11th.
Yeah, it's weird.
They're trying to hinder this movie, and I feel like what they're trying to do is they're trying to get the public that already don't want this movie to come out to then get behind them. And then that's how they get their money, because then they can kind of ask for the world, because we need you to drop this suit because we're losing.
Because people like, that's the thing. People are not going to see this movie if we tell them that we're not getting paid and stuff. I feel like that's what they're tentatively doing.
Yes,
and it's a smart move. Yeah, it really is, because you're cashing in on already not a controversial movie, but already a split movie within comic book fans, DC fans,
absolutely,
and just fans in general as well too.
They're using this vitriol that's going on.
We're being used, everyone.
Yeah, we are. In so many different in so many places we're being used.
Yeah, we're being used right now.
But that's the worst thing though, is that I feel like they are using the situation to their benefit, because you were right. In I believe it's 2035.
Yeah.
Superman becomes a free use.
Yes, because at that point, if it's a public domain, then no one gets anything. Yeah. You have free range to use those characters or use that property.
Absolutely. And then once that happens, it's all, it's everything else.
What are we going to get when Superman does become public domain?
What do you mean?
Because when Mickey Mouse became public domain, Steamboat Willie, or the Mouse Killer, which is just a guy that dresses up as as like Mickey Mouse and kills people. Yeah. Same thing with Wizard of Oz. It's
hard to say what we're like, because most likely we're gonna get like a murderous Superman, but we've already got those. We've already got so many of them.
We could get just like a like, I guess like an anti-hero Superman, if someone really wanted to do that.
Like Superman who just like does a lot of drugs and he doesn't care.
Yeah, and just like
Hancock.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's essentially what Hancock is.
Yeah, Hancock is. Yeah.
We've done it.
Yeah.
Everybody's done it.
So there's really nothing to do.
I guess everybody can just kind of put Superman in everything now.
Yeah, you could essentially. Yeah, you could see Superman in like other things. I mean, people will mention Superman in other things.
I'm so interested to see it, especially when like that happens, and then Marvel Comics just goes, let's put Superman in.
We could technically use him.
We can use him. Yeah. He's free. He's
or maybe make him a villain or something like that.
That would be interesting.
That'd be cool.
Could you imagine?
Touches red kryptonite, just goes crazy.
He just goes nuts in a different universe.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of sick.
That'd be fun.
I would be into it.
I think Batman becomes public domain a year later after that.
Well, yeah, I think they were back to back with each other, and then I think Wonder Woman is 5 years later.
5 years later, 2040.
Yeah. So, also, the person who created Wonder Woman also created the lie detector.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that.
That was a man.
Yeah. He also
fact.
He also really loved bondage. It was a thing.
Yeah. That was the thing.
This
is real stuff, guys.
Yeah, he loved it. Yeah, yes. Go watch the movie. Like go do some history. Yeah, he loved
restraining.
He loved restraints.
And
he was into polygamy.
He was into polygamy
as well.
Yeah,
he had two wives.
He was your regular Walt Disney.
Yeah, he had 2 wives. Yeah. He was into bondage, and he what was it? And he invented the lie detector.
He did.
That's where the lasso of truth comes from.
Yes,
because it's a thing that you put on your arm, and then you tell the truth. That's the lie detector. The world we live in. More you know.
Trump's America.
No, this happened.
No. That was like in the 1940s or 50s. They did that. Yeah,
that was. What is that?
It was probably in the 40s. Yeah, because it was in the midst of the World War II. It was
right in the middle of World War II.
Yeah.
So it's Eisenhower. Was that Eisenhower?
Oppenheimer. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Oppenheimer.
It's Oppenheimer.
It's Oppenheimer's America.
But yeah, it was.
Do you have any last thoughts on Spider-Man or the whole lawsuit thing?
No, I think you pretty much said it best. They're just using the hype of the dividing of this movie to their benefits, and it makes sense. It really does.
Absolutely.
I don't know, guys, comment down below on what you guys think about it.
Yeah. Also, did you guys like the TV spot?
Yeah.
Was the TV spot good? Did
you guys excited for Superman?
Yeah. Do you guys agree that the image of him flying you didn't like? James Gunn does say that there is no CGI in that scene.
Yeah.
It's just blue screen.
So I think I was telling you the reason why it looks weird, his face looks weird, is because James Gunn's using a wide angle lens.
Yes.
And when in layman's terms, when you're using that, you get this fishbowl kind of like look, kind of like how a GoPro is.
Yeah.
That's the type of camera format that James Gunn's using, and
it makes sense. Though.
It makes sense because you have
everything around him.
Yeah, this movie's shot in IMAX. It has to be shot in a wide camera lens.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not only that, but also, how do I put that thing on? Like, literally, I put a wide angle lens right in front of Corn Sweat, and I go, fly.
Yeah. Act like you're flying. Do you know, like in the movie Twisters, like the tornado picked you up.
I love the idea of he had a giant fan behind this camera.
Oh, yeah.
And he just goes, 1, 2, 3. You just see his face just
fly.
What? Just
what? You're food. I can't hear you, James. You're food. I'm dying. You're food.
And you just see him.
Okay. Woo. Wiggle your hands more. I don't know why that's funny.
Yeah, just
okay, cool.
Is that? I think we thought of the skit.
Yeah.
No, but what was it? I think I 100%. I don't agree that it looks terrible. I actually love the way it looks. I love the way it looks. I love the way it looks, and it does. I'll admit. The close-up look and the fishbowl, it does make Corn Sweat look like he has a lazy eye.
It's jarring. It's jarring at first. Yeah.
I'll admit that it does, but also he looks good. Like he looks like the cape floating in the air and everything else. It looks really good.
Yeah.
Like they're actually using a cape, guys. Like it's not like just like little lines and they go and it's like, all right, pretend like you have a cape. We'll put it in later.
We'll put it in post.
Yeah, we'll put it in post. Don't worry about it. So I'm excited for.
We're fixing the post. Don't worry about it. I just had to do that.
I'm so curious to see how this movie comes out. I'm curious to see how this lawsuit goes.
Yeah,
because I'm wondering if a judge just throws it out.
Yeah, that could happen too. The judge is like, this is dumb.
Yeah. This is dumb. We agree with Warner. Yeah. Warner has given us enough enough evidence to prove that you're full of it.
Yeah,
that you're full of it.
Yeah,
and we're just gonna proceed. We're not gonna do anything else. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. I mean, and if it does go further, they'll most likely just settle.
Yeah,
I'm assuming they'll just come to an agreement, and then they'll go like, "How does $4 million sound?" I'll just give you a couple of $1 million and you can shut
sounds
your mouth.
pretty great, but could you put like another $1 million? You know, like I feel like I would really feel satisfied with that. Like, I feel like 5 is a good number.
5's a good number. It's a solid number.
It's a solid number. 4 doesn't feel right.
No, I don't like
Call
it.
back to
it's an ugly
232.
It's an ugly number. I don't like it. It's an ugly number. I don't like it.
Yeah. Can you imagine? It's $47,000. I don't like that number. It just feels like those numbers don't go well together.
They don't go together.
They're not compatible.
4 doesn't go into 7.
Right. Not evenly.
Can we do it 48?
Yeah,
I think 48 would make me feel better.
Yeah, with the curves.
Because
the 4,
because 8's a sexy number.
I trust 8
8's
a
a
lot.
sexy number.
I can save 8.
I think the only thing I've learned about Bryan is he wants to have sex with 8. He wants to have sex with an 8.
I mean, who doesn't? Who doesn't want to be with an 8? A solid 8, you know?
So, all right, everybody.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching our show.
That brings us to the end of Keeping Up with the Nerds.
Oh, my God. That was pretty good. That was good. You know what? I'm really happy how we ended that.
Yeah,
you know what? I feel so accomplished.
Oh, man. Once again, you can find us on all of our platforms, our website, keepingupwiththenerds.com, our Facebook, YouTube, and our Instagram, our x.com. I messed that up. But what was it? Make sure to listen to us on all of our audio platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and also Podbean. Make sure to comment, like, and share all the way at the bottom. Pass it all around. Tell your friends. If you like what you saw, go ahead and watch something else. Click that little button.
Yeah. Watch our other issues.
Yeah. Watch the other issues.
Watch our skits.
The skits are always fun.
Yeah.
And if you didn't like what you saw, why are you being so mean? Just,
yeah.
You didn't like this one, go to the next one.
Yeah, go to the next one.
Just keep watching and you'll eventually like it.
You'll hit somewhere where we'll say something funny.
Yeah,
you know?
It's a happy medium.
We'll hit a joke that you like.
Also, if you made it this far,
I'm sorry. I like saying that.
I feel like you're just hate watching me.
Right. I feel like you're just hate watching me at this point.
Don't get me wrong.
I'll take the view.
Yeah. I get off on it. It's fine.
Yes.
Don't worry about it. So, let's go ahead.
Thank you guys for watching. Oh, my God.
Thank you guys for watching Keeping Up with the Nerds, issue 233. My name is Nick Valero.
What is your name?
And we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.